What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review of this week's episode of the Junji Ito collection. Apologies for the lateness of this review. This is not usually later than I want it to be, but the main reason for that is mostly because I have been dealing with a lot of technical errors. By that I mean my controller. Because as you guys know, I do majority of my videos in Share Factory because, it's simple, because, most times I'm just, it's just me, commentary, what I do, I just have some game footage I recorded, and I just play or just talk over it. That's essentially what I do most of the videos. Other times, my reaction videos I do, and then iMovies most of the time, and other stuff, I usually do that in Share Factory, or, Premiere, or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, that's the main reason, and also for some reason, my controller just has not been cooperating with me lately. Today, I left it to charge, and then when I come back, it's glowing yellow, but the battery, I come back, it's not chargeable, so I assume it's fully charged. But then when I come back, the battery's only at 1 bar. Then I try charging again, which has been charging throughout the whole day, mind you, and the battery dies. It has not charged a single bit. I am now currently holding this in a position where it can charge, but I don't even know if it's actually charging or not. So yeah, I need to just get another controller. I've tried resetting the controller. I've tried charging my PS4 controller while my PS4 is upside down, because apparently that works. But not really getting much of anything. I don't even know if this controller is actually charging right now. I mean, the bars say that's charging, but I don't know if it's actually charging, because my controller usually fully charged by now, or at least would have been at 2 bars by now with the amount of times it's been charged. But whatever. Enough jibber jabber about technical errors in my controller. Let's begin with the episode itself. So, now, the first story, I believe, is called Grease. And now this short story is because this short story is littered with plot holes. Now, I know what some of you guys may say about Glenn. You said you saw the Amaze Man's video on Junji to where, Junji doesn't really explain many things. Well, I can definitely understand, about characters' motivations and shit, which I can understand. I fully agree with that. That's part of the mystery of some of these supernatural characters that Junji creates. Not knowing where they came from or what's their motive or whatever, adds to the mystery, kind of makes you scare them more. But these are not those. These are essentially just humans. These aren't like some supernatural beings or nothing. And these aren't like motivation plot holes. More like, how the fuck is this even possible kind of plot holes. I will elaborate when we get that part. But, so we start our story off where we are with our MC, the girl, I forget her name. She's pretty much, having a dream, talking about, I've grown up this whole part of my whole life. We run, we have this little restaurant that hasn't been the best of shape, and apparently the whole building is covered in oil. Like oil, not like oil like you put in your car oil, but more like grease oil, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Well, apparently the whole house is littered with this shit. Like she says, the oil, she's been exposed to this shit for so long that she can tell how big much saturation the room has. Throughout the episode, she says, 50% saturation, 60, 70, da. And ever since her mom left, the house has kind of been in complete disarray, and the oil has just been getting worse and worse. Their futons are covered in oil. Her younger brother eats a bunch of oil, drinks vegetable oil for some reason, and he beats her. She tells her father, who's pretty much kind of the cliche, I don't give a damn. Your mother left, so I give no shits. I wear a white tank top throughout the whole day, kind of thing. Know what I mean? And throughout that, we just see the oil getting worse and worse and worse. The oil just, casually, getting deep, growing more. There's more and more of it. And we see that our brother, goes through puberty. He has a bunch of pimples on his face. And this is where, that's where the first plot hole starts. Not really with anything but the brother, but first of all, where the fuck is Child Protective Services? I know they exist in Japan. They were erased. Okay? So where the hell are they? Because this cannot be healthy for them to stay in a house like this. That's the first plot hole. I will start on the other 2 plot holes later. So the next time, then we see her brother. He's getting political because, he's covered in pimples and shit. And he's, and then her sister kind of like watches from like kind of like peeks out from a corner and sees her brother, and she, and then he starts beating on her because like, you laughed, didn't you? You just think I deserved it, didn't you? And then he's like beating on her father. He tries to step in like, hey, stop, you two. And he's like, nah. And then she starts, and then he starts popping his pimples, and some of them and stuff gets on her, and she's like, oh, gross. Like like any normal person's like, what did you? And he's like, what did you say? Did you just say I'm gross? So then he literally pins her to the ground, okay? Pins her to the ground, and then like uses both his hands to like pop as many pimples as possible and have the ooze just drop on her face. And basically, when I watched this episode, I literally just finished eating a Philly cheesesteak from Charlie's with some fries and strawberry lemonade. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, god damn it, I just ate two! Come on! I didn't vomit or nothing, but I'm like, god damn, this is fucking gross. So after that ordeal, we see that everything just gets worse and worse and worse. The oil then actually after he's done doing that, his father actually beats him over the head with like a pan or something, knocking him out or maybe possibly killing him. Then we know, like I said, guys, they actually own a restaurant, which is the building they live in, the one covered in oil. So these two people walk in, and they're like, hey man, can I get some of that meat like you had last time? I was like, oh, sorry, we ran out of that meat yesterday. If I had to guess, it was probably his son, because this is a horror series anyway, so I'm not putting this over Junji to dabble into some cannibalism. And like I said, guys, and this is the second major plot hole in this episode. Where the fuck is the health where's the hell is the health inspector? Because this place would not pass code. Like this place is literally covered in oil. Like the whole building is covered in oil. It's all in this dark, brown, ugly color. It's just littered in oil. How the fuck does this pass health inspection? Like, seriously, how does a place get this bad and nobody comes by and hey, shut down this place? This place is fucking disgusting. I'm just sitting there being like, what the fuck? Okay, I get Junji to keep yourself in this suspense, but this is, come on! What? How? Why? How? Like, seriously, like that was my biggest problem in this episode. Are these two major plot holes about where the hell is Child Protective Services, and where the fuck is the health inspector? Because with how bad this place is covered in oil, why haven't they come here and I mean, and this is a restaurant too, so it's not like, and plus it sticks out like a sore thumb, so you would look at it and be like, Jesus Christ. Like, has nobody reported this place? Like, at all? Child Protective Services I can kind of get behind, but the restaurant itself, they should close that, whatever. Enough me hammering on these plot holes. So, after that, her sister starts getting the pimples, and then his father starts drinking the vegetable oil for whatever reason, and then she goes to sleep. She starts having these nightmares of her and this where Mount Fuji is and it's erupting Greece, and on the intercom it says oil saturation is now 60%, then another time it does it 70, 80, da 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 da. So then after that we see that actually her father is making her drink vegetable oil, which is actually safe for humans to eat. Like, could you actually drink that stuff by itself? And you wouldn't it wouldn't have it it wouldn't do anything bad to you other than it probably being really fattening and probably not healthy to drink by itself. I'm just kind of low-key kind of curious about that. Anyway, so after that, then she don't drink me, feed me that shit. And she's like, and then she kind of doesn't go to sleep. She kind of just keeps her eye on the door, making sure her father doesn't pull that shit again. And whenever he tries to open the door, he immediately closes like, oh shit, and closes like he's like, oh shit. So after that, we see that the oil gets worse and worse and worse, where her father is even more covered in oil. Every time his futons are more covered in oil than they usually are. Every time he takes a bath, there's an extra layer of grease in the bathtub. It's fucking disgusting. Then we see the oil itself dripping from the ceilings. It's really disgusting. Also, because like I said, where the fuck is Child Protective Services and the health inspectors? Seriously, whatever. So they start dripping, and then around the end of the short story it says, oil saturation reach 100%. That's pretty much where the first short story ends. So, which leads to the second short story, which is some straight up Fatal Frame shit. Which for you guys that for you guys that don't know what Fatal Frame is, because I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys have never heard of it, because it's more of an obscure survival horror. But like I said, it was a survival horror video game series similar to Silent Hill, mixed with I guess a little bit of Outlast. And what I mean by that, it's Silent Hill where it's like where it's set in Japan essentially, and like these like haunted areas where. These haunted areas, essentially, where you're like this teenage girl, whoever the MC is at any of these games, kind of exploring this area. You kind of got lost, which leads you to this like haunted neighborhood or village, whatever the case may be, and you kind of have to survive like Silent Hill. But when I say like things to Outlast, because as you guys in Outlast, you were completely defenseless, and all you had was a camera to light your way to where you were going. Well, in this case, the camera itself is your only weapon in Fatal Frame, where you would take pictures of the ghost to kill them, essentially ammo and guns. And the longer you charge on the button, the quicker it kills them. And that's essentially what Fatal Frame was. It's kind of like Silent Hill, but yeah. So so this our MC for this particular short story visits her grandmother for whatever reason. I don't really exactly remember what the reason was. If there wasn't even given a reason, a reason. Anyway, so excuse me. So, she kind of walks in, and then she sees a spirit walking across the bridge. She's like, oh, she's whatever grandma's name is, and she's like, oh hell no! She runs over to the room and she starts banging on the door, being like, grandma, open up, open up. And so she opens up, and then she explains to her that these are ghosts of all the past family members and people that have lived in this village, and she is the last surviving one. And they keep calling to her, and she can't barely get any sleep. So then she tells her a story of of pretty much the rituals whenever their family members or people in this village die. I don't remember all the details because this was a few hours ago when I watched this episode. But essentially, they whenever someone dies, they kind of put their body on top of this raft or plank or whatever, and kind of put them down the waterfall. And if they fall off, they go to hell. If they stay floated past the bridge, they float into heaven. That's essentially what they are. And then some people don't go in, blah 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 blah. Some of them do, blah 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 blah. So at the end of the short story, then at the end of her story, she kind of wakes up as if from a dream, as if this was all just a bad dream. But knowing Junji Ito and knowing this series, I'm like, this ain't no dream. This was all reality. And her grandmother dies after she's done telling the story. So then she walks over to the place. She's like, and her grandmother did pass away, so this was real, or maybe this was all just one massive coincidence. And then they see, and then all the spirits that we saw outside are doing the ritual to her grandmother, on the bridge, blah blah blah. And that's essentially where that short story ends. So yeah. Overall, this was a really good episode. I did enjoy it. The short stories were a little okay, but the plot holes were kind of like, what? I've harped enough on the plot holes since episode long enough. So my final verdict for this week's episode of Junji Ito is honestly an 8.5. Like I said, I really did enjoy this episode, but I'm like, I mean, they didn't really pique my interest as much as the previous episodes did, but I mean, they're not terrible, but I've seen much better from this collection, from these episodes. Yeah. Looking forward to whatever next week has to bring offer. And also, guys, expect a review of The Shape of Water tomorrow, because actually, Rich Chris Cinema over here, which is pretty much where I predominantly watch all my movies in theaters, unless it's like MCU, DCEU type of films. Where they're actually re-releasing some of the Oscar films that were nominated for Best Picture here. Last week was Phantom Thread. This week will be The Shape of Water, and next week will be three Billboards Outside Ebony, Missouri, which I actually saw Ebony, Missouri yesterday. Fucking love that movie. It was excellent. I would say Matt Damon was definitely worthy of the Oscar. He was nominated. He won for Best Supporting Actor, but I think it still should have went to Patrick Stewart. But you guys know me and Logan. Yeah. Yeah, looking forward with The Shape of Water has to bring it off. So yeah, expect that review tomorrow. We're actually gonna go catch it. And I'm also working on the editing on my reaction to the 2018 Oscar, so expect that video dropping sometime tomorrow as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me next Twitter if you feel like, links in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.